Music Business Monday, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Lunchtime Magazine. My name is Folayan. So many things to talk about today on the show, but before we get into our conversation properly, let me wish a very good friend of mine, Yusuf Ajamosu Babale, a happy birthday. Yusuf, your birthday was yesterday. We had fun. It was so late. Thank you so much for that, yummy, sumptuous soup that you assisted in cooking. And the fact that you almost lost your house key, in the process of trying to cook soup, but it all made the birthday worth celebrating. I'm sure it's one birthday you will remember for a very, very long time. So happy birthday, Yusuf. Happy birthday. Many happy returns to you. Congratulations to all the people who got married over the weekend as well. Happy anniversary, happy married life. Okay, more money, more kids, everything you want. I wish you all that you wish for yourself. So, yesterday was Children's Day. Oh my goodness, I had fun. I'm somebody's child too now, so I'm allowed to. Yeah, right. Okay, 35 minutes past 12. Let's get back in business. It is Music Business Monday on the Lunchtime Magazine. We do this every first day of the week. We let you into the intricacies of the music industry in Nigeria. We look at the business angles. We talk to managers. We talk to music makers. We talk to decision makers, people who work behind the scenes. And, there's always one or two things to address. And I don't do this alone every Monday. I'm with a very good friend, colleague in the business, a senior colleague, actually, in the music business. His name is Obinna Agwu. We like to call him the Mob. He's an A&R consultant, a music enthusiast. He says he's a hip-hop head, too. Every.
Good morning, Lagos.
Morning, Obinna. Welcome. How did your weekend go?
Oh, it was lovely.
Awesome.
It was restful.
I like that. You look rested.
Yes. I need them.
Yeah, it's necessary. It was a hectic weekend, especially in the business, in the music business as well.
Yes.
A lot of events, shows. So many of your clients were busy, I can imagine.
Yes, and we can't. We're very objective people, so it's not all the time we are slapping guys here.
Okay.
So Wizkid sold out the O2 Arena.
Yeah, congrats,
20,000 people.
20,000.
That is a
good
huge
job.
milestone.
Nigerian artists were selling out, especially this weekend. I heard Pato Ranking also sold out a city in the Caribbean, islands. So many.
He did.
Which other one again? Mr. Easy also sold out his own concert as well. So kudos. Fowls released a video over the weekend. This is Nigeria. Is it okay to call it a cover? Yes, a cover of Childish Gambino's This Is America. He kind of did a Nigerian version.
An adaptation.
An adaptation, yes, adaptation. Yeah. And a lot of thoughts have gone out about it. Some people, suddenly realize they love social commentary Nigerian music, and where has he been all this while? Some people realize, Foles has always done this in one way or the other. And some people think it's a mediocre job. I've read a couple of articles. People believe it's a mediocre job. I watched it and I honestly believe it was rushed. I love the idea. I love the fact that he did that. Yeah. But I also believe that
they could have done better.
They could have done better. I mean, if we're going to really do an adaptation, then let's do it well. Yes. Childish Gambino, took time to work on every little detail. Yes. For instance, the same mediocrity we see in Nollywood productions where there's lack of continuity, unfortunately it showed up in Foles' video as well.
Yes.
In the very first scene. As soon as I saw that, I was tempted to just turn off YouTube and move on, but I said, what, let me finish it.
I feel like over time we have received so much low quality of content that anybody who is seen to dare a little more than the other guys is just going to get all the accolades,
in the city of the blind.
Yes, Faust definitely gets an E for effort from me.
Absolutely.
And he gets another E for good intentions.
E for good intention, yes.
Yeah, because that could have been MI, that could have been any other person, but he beat them to it.
Yeah.
And for the people who are surprised that Fowles just woke up and did it, no. Maybe
he
you
didn't
haven't
just
been
wake up.
following. You know,
Exactly.
on his first album, he had a song called Senator. He was also addressing the government and social political issues. On his sophomore album, he had a beautiful song with Sadauda called How Far. Beautiful song, you know.
Even
So
some of his comedy, some of his comic,
yeah,
more
yeah,
humorous
yeah.
songs, they've
It-
always been one
yeah.
form of social commentary or the other.
even calling out Nice and the fraudsters, you know.
Yes.
So Fowles has always had this consciousness. So shout out to him.
Definitely, I think you know, I agree with you. I'll score him a little higher than an E. I'll
Yeah.
probably score him a D, maybe a reluctant C. You know, but good job. At
Yeah.
least somebody thought about doing something. At
Yeah.
least somebody was inspired to do something. And
Yes.
maybe I'm not going to, you know, be hypocritical and say that all songs now should be social commentary. You know, I'm not going to say that. I know that not every artist.
That
can
is
do
why
social
his own
commentary.
makes sense, because he didn't do
Yeah.
it because other guys did it. I mean, guys around here. He did it because he saw
He saw
Childish
something.
Gambino's own, and he resonated with
Yeah.
within him.
Yeah.
And who needs to be making that type of statement more than the Nigerian musician? Really?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So
Good job,
Good
Falls.
job.
Good job. Well done.
P Diddy reposted. P Diddy told him that the song is going to be on heavy rotation on his Revolt TV. You know, so
I am impressed.
Diddy's post has well over 1 million views
Good.
on IG.
Falls is
You know,
made,
so
bruh.
Fowles definitely has taken
Yeah.
himself to the next level. I see great
That's it.
management at work. I see great thought. I see
I see
great
great
people.
thinking. I see great
Yeah.
thinking. Absolutely. All right. So that's the weekend for you in Nigerian music business. So many things happened. I hope you had a great time seeing those videos. There's also another video making the rounds. I haven't seen it, but I keep hearing show my age, Mini. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. You know. So, but let's do it for the culture. So show my age, really. Well, another thing that we do need, you know, to talk about, which, you know, we've always wanted to address on the show, but it started over the weekend when a certain Nigerian artist, and that brings me to the reason why you're hearing this. So it's not like, you know, I just decided to dig, you know, through the back of the shelves to bring out that song. It's because this man in question, Wakonzi, decided to, you know, vent out his frustration at certain players in the music industry, certain gatekeepers, big names, if we are allowed to call them that, you know, who, according to him, he had paid, you know, for his music to receive heavy rotation on their platforms, video platforms, and unfortunately, they did not come through. And apparently he paid some hefty sums, and he had to come out on social media to, you know, vent and to call their names and to even post the receipts of payment. And so when someone serves tea like this, I mean, what do we do?
And this is the second time an artist is openly calling out Nosa and Trace TV. So for sure, whatever he has accused them of definitely went down.
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a question of if those things went down or not. We know they did.
There were receipts.
They're receipts, bro. They're receipts.
Yeah.
Now, the question, you know, it brings us to discussing the main issue. I don't know if anyone has heard of the term payola. You know, the first time I said it to somebody, they said, "What's that?" I'm like, okay, let me break it down for you. According to Wikipedia, payola in the music industry is the illegal practice of payments or other inducements by record companies, or in this case, individual artists, for the broadcast of recordings on commercial radio, in which the song is presented as being part of the normal day's broadcast without announcing this prior to broadcast. Under the US law, not Nigerian law, note that, under the US law, a radio station can play a specific song in exchange for money, but this must be disclosed on air as being sponsored airtime. So if you're paying for the airplay, it is announced as sponsored. But if you put it on the regular playlist, like it's normal, and you collect money, you know, then it is, you know, it is payola and it is illegal. And that play of the song should not be counted as a regular airplay if it is paid for. So it becomes like part of the adverts that we play. Now, Payola is not new. It's always been there. In the 1920s, Payola used to be legal. As long as it is paid directly to the media house and disclosed openly. But sometimes in 1959, it became illegal due to a high-profile case involving, some top DJ and a top music exec. So, how did the word payola come about? It is actually coined from the words pay and Victoria. Okay, no, it's not Victoria, it's Victola actually, sorry. It's a crank-driven turntable with an inbuilt speaker used by the DJs back in the days. So a hybrid of the two words gave birth to Payola.
Yeah.
Payola is not just in form of cash, gifts, incentives, airtime tickets, airline tickets,
Rolex
iPhones,
holiday packages.
Yeah.
We have not even started.
All those things are also, used in exchange for airplay. The question today now is not whether or not it is legal in Nigeria. The question now is, how does it help the music industry? How does it move us forward, or does it take us back? Has it become so bad now that we have gatekeepers who have set themselves up as Shylocks, who prey on musicians, who they prey on upcoming artists, who prey on record companies who are trying to just push their artists to, be on the come up. Some people have argued that it's part of the business. You can't remove it. It's the oil that, it oils the machinery of, the music business. And some people have argued that this, puts an end to all forms of quality control on the music that comes on radio.
Absolutely.
So joining the conversation this afternoon on Music Business Monday, Obinna Agwu is here. We also have someone who would like to remain anonymous, but I'll have to tell you that when it comes to music that gets on radio, she is a key player. And so if anybody is going to be speaking from a gatekeeper's perspective, she would be doing that. So you can join the conversation on all our social media platforms. We're streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/NigeriaInfoFM. You can watch us live and join the conversation on our Twitter page at NigeriaInfoFM as well. Remember to use the hashtag MusicBusinessMonday. When it's time for us to open phone lines, we will. Gentleman and lady, you have the floor.
Okay, guys. Simply put, Payola is pay for play. That is what it's, pay for play. That is Payola. When you need to pay for airplay, it is illegal, right? Very, very illegal. In fact, anybody who indulges in it, you paying the money and the guy receiving it,
Yeah,
both
all
of
criminals.
you are wrong.
Is it constitutional though? Like in the States, as Fola had mentioned.
Yeah.
It's a legal thing. Is it same here?
I
Nigerian
think
law,
so.
no, there is no provision for that.
We don't seem to care about stuff like this.
I mean,
Why?
we're still trying to get our music copyright laws, in
order,
place and
yeah.
in order. So for now, Payola does not exist, under Nigerian law for music and music airplay.
Okay.
But, individual media companies have in-house policy
Yeah.
and how it works.
Yeah.
So I think media people working in those media organizations would work according to the policy of the organization they work for. But in terms, generally looking at the music industry, has Payola really been good for us?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think
You
so.
both agree?
I don't think
Basically, Payola means anybody who has money can get airplay, no matter how terrible the product is. And that has happened so much over time.
And that is still happening.
That is still happening. So
Yeah.
Payola surely has contributed a lot towards the decay.
Mediocrity.
Yes. Because I mean, no disrespect, but a Yahoo boy can come today and just jump into the studio so that the next time Stars stops him, he can whip out his phone and say, "I'm a musician. There's my song." So but. To legitimize that whole thing, he needs to get on radio. He needs to do all this stuff, and money is all he has. So he's going to make that happen. But what it does now is that oftentimes the really talented guys are not loaded. So
Okay.
But they are the ones too who are also paying these presenters or on-air personalities.
The really
You're
talented
young.
people, right?
Yes, you're young. You're trying to get into the industry. You've got good stuff. Use that money to sort yourself out properly. Why would you use that money?
See, they would use that money because the system has been set up in such a way that these young artists who follow due process do not get a chance.
They don't get a chance.
They don't get a chance. There are people who have set up themselves as gatekeepers and demigods who would not look at. They're not interested in how talented you are. They're not interested in how good your music is. They just want to get paid. So whoever it is that you are, and you're coming with, oh, I'm so talented, yeah, whatever. It's about the Benjamins. What do you have for me? What's in it for me?
And some of them are not going to come out straight and say you need to pay. You give them your music, but you're never going to hear.
You don't get head.
So why is this person not paying? The person is waiting patiently for you to use your sense.
I mean, exactly.
And no one needs to be done.
It's beginning to look like the music business has become the Nigerian civil service.
It is sad.
You have to grease the palms of everybody.
Okay,
along the way.
But Fola,
yeah,
I like to think ideally the process should be you bring in your music and then there are like a group of people in the station who vet it and decide what goes on air and the amount of airplay.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't feel like a lot of radio stations even have these guys or that department or Yeah, because a lot of times people come and drop their music and the music never even gets to the people who are supposed to listen to this stuff. The music just ends up at the reception. So at some point you just get tired,
You are an A&R person.
Yeah.
You have worked as a consultant with record labels. You have clients that you still work with.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to pay for airplay for any of your clients?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me how it went down. How did it go down?
Initially, I was dropping CDs. Nothing was happening. It wasn't getting played.
And your clients were good?
Very good. Very good. So it just gets to a point where you feel like, you know what, man, if this is what we need to do to get to the next level, then
let's do it.
Then let's do it. Because we have followed the due process, and due process isn't working. Every time I drop this CD, it ends up in the dustbin. Every time I drop this CD, they trash it. But we need to stand a chance. So if this is what we need to do, then
And since you started paying, has it been working out? Do you get the airplay you require? Do you feel like you deserve the airplay you're getting? Because it's one thing to when you're paying for it. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Are you getting something in return?
Yeah.
Most of the time, I get good airplay because if the music isn't wonderful, I'm not even going to be in a position to push it.
Okay.
So usually it's just like, yes, I'm paying you to play amazing music that you could have played anyway if you were open-minded enough to pick it up. So now I have given you money and then you now listen to the music and you discover, wow, this is actually good music and I love it. So over time, it moves away from that whole business relationship and the OAP starts to like the music and like the artist.
Okay, great. This is the challenge. Would we be saying we're too idealist if you come across someone who is saying yes, directly or indirectly, give me something before I play your music. For stations where they have a structure, a unit that looks after all that vets and looks into music coming in, do you raise an alarm?
No.
Why not?
So you see, the problem
the question is
there.
We need to ask why
we need
not
to tackle this as a group. It's not a one-man show, one-man fight, one man checking it and putting it right. No.
Yes.
A group of people have
But is there a reason why an alarm is not being raised?
Exactly why?
Not to justify this bad act, but I know there are also a lot of OAPs who have been driven into this thing because maybe their pay doesn't come regularly.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not going to mention stations. There are times when when you meet up with some OAPs and they're telling you how they haven't been paid for 7 months, and So it just gets to a point where the person
You
is
feel like you're
man,
helping
this
them?
Is, this, no.
Is
I
that
do not.
it?
No. I do not feel like I'm helping them.
Okay.
They are just putting it to me like, say, yo, right now, this is how I eat.
So you're being emotionally blackmailed.
Interesting.
I'm being a businessman. I want Airplay.
You
and
so
this
for, as
is
an emotional
Emotionally
person,
blackmailing you. Oh, I'm hungry. But I'm not really asking for food, but I'm just letting you know.
you know that I'm hungry. But it
You know?
sounds like what what a policeman would tell you. When he stops
Exactly.
you and
Exactly.
and he's requesting for a bribe. He's telling you that the government is bad for all of us. So you are not the only one suffering. We too will suffer. Never pay your salary. The same thing a civil servant will tell you. Just to. So at the end of the
It
day,
cuts across.
it cuts across board. And I've realized that even record companies and management companies and even individual artists who are promoting their work, they're setting aside a budget. In the promotion budget, they are definitely setting aside the budget for Payola. Like, Payola is part of the the plan. So if you already have that, and we have these gatekeepers, some of them are on air people, some of them are music schedulers, some of them are sometimes even newscasters set up themselves as because at the end of the day, a lot of people outside don't know who is who in the
Exactly.
in the media
But-
house.
but-
So as long as you have a footing and you can call some names, they believe you're influential enough to help, and
Yes.
they willingly give you money.
Yes, but what I've noticed that Payola does to the OAP is that it pushes them to this point where they are so comfortable with that money they are collecting and they are no more thinking about their careers and ideas they can use to boost themselves and get to the next level. So they are just at a point where this job is really just about all this stuff I'm collecting. I'm not really here to be a super OAP. I'm not here so that I can start up my own TV show or own my own, Payola kills vision. I have seen Payola. Yes, I have seen how Payola has killed the vision of a lot of people. IK, for example, IK does not do Payola. IK is very principled. It's a lot of people like that, So, but on that tip, it's still not a lot of radio people who are doing as well as IK is doing, because he's putting himself out there. He's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing that. But I have seen how Payola just puts them in this place where they are just myopic and they just can't get beyond all the small monies they are collecting on the side, and they are just never going to be amazing guys at what they do. They are just
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what he's saying. There are probably not many people that we know. I'm happy you've mentioned one person, which is nice and which gives us that hope that everybody is not just crashing at the bottom. It would be nice if we could get more people who are like that, so we come together and talk about this thing and look for ways we can make the situation better. We might not necessarily be able to tame it or curb this issue, but I'm sure if a good number of us, a good number of people who are in that industry, who are in this industry, if we come together and say, look, this is how we're going to do it, this is the issue, this is the problem, what could we do to make the situation better?
But another problem is a lot of radio stations actually do not have this music department that we're talking about. Yes,
Okay, so
they
then
don't.
it means
So
so then
because
it means
because
we'll have
this
to
thing
involve-
isn't there, then that means I just need to look for an OAP
But that a
or
station
somebody.
doesn't have a station doesn't have a music department doesn't mean they
Don't-
don't have people who are their points people or their contacts people
It doesn't
to music.
mean they cannot
music.
have a system and a structure to monitor and track how music comes into the station and gets on radio.
But from my
Hold that
experience-
thought, lady and gentleman. It is time for us to do a quick break. When
Okay.
we come back, we'll get into what we can do, how we can set up a structure for stations that don't already have a structure, and for the ones who already have, to find a way of monitoring and tracking and keeping that structure foolproof to prevent abuse. Stay here. It is still Music Business Monday on the Lunchtime Magazine. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Hi, my name is Tunji Andrews, and I run the SME show on 99.3 Nigeria Info every Monday at 10 a.m. You see, every second Monday of the month, we have what we call the Pitch It Mondays, where if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business idea, but you need investment into your business, you're able to pitch it to investors who will be with me in the studio. You'll be able to pitch your ideas in 45 seconds or less. And if you can catch their attention, you get the critical investment you need into your business. So rehearse what you're going to say, make sure you're able to catch their attention in 45 seconds or less, you might get that investment into your business.
Hi guys, my name is Tolulope Adeleru Balogun. I currently host Morning Crossfire. I'm here to tell you that you have to get your PVC. Your permanent voter's card is your power, and in your hand you hold the power to make any necessary change that you want in Nigeria. Please participate, because elections are not the end of democracy and governance. The highest office in the land is the office of the citizen. You and I are citizens of Nigeria. Get your PVC. Your PVC, your voice.
Hi, I'm Tunji Andrews, and this is 1,000 Naira notes. To some people, this represents a meal or a few bottles of beer. To other people, this is 4 units of Dangote cement shares or 21 units of GT Bank stock, or the startup capital needed to start that pure water business. Whoever you are and whatever your needs might be, we have you covered on the Money Business and Economy Show on 99.3 Nigeria Info, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Cause it's not really the amount of money that matters. It's usually what you do with it. Cheers.
1 o'clock. You're still listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome back to the Lunchtime Magazine and Music Business Monday. We've been discussing Payola, paying music for Airplay. And just to a quick update, we didn't talk about another awesome thing that happened over the weekend. On the 25th of May, Adekunle Gold dropped, his sophomore album, About 30.
The roll-up.
My
the presentation,
gosh.
everything leading up to
the release.
Adekunle Gold is a fantastic artist.
This is
Shout
one
out
of
to
the
his
songs.
team.
Yes.
You know, they've been brilliant all the way.
Yes.
I loved the idea for his listening party. You know, everything has just been stellar, man. Shout out
It's
to
been
Adekunle
beautiful.
Gold.
It's been so beautiful. Shout out to Adekunle Gold once again. Damn Delilah is one of the songs on the album. We also have some other songs that we will be introducing you to. Amazing collaborations on the album. I mean, Adekunle Gold with Seun Kuti, with DYO, with Flavor. Man, he put in so much work.
Some
on
people
that
didn't
album.
even sing. He just co-wrote with them. I mean, Adekunle Gold is just like
He's
this
the artist of
international
the
guy
future.
inside Lagos, man. There was a song
He's the artist.
Yeah.
He's the artist of the future. Honestly,
he reached out to Efe Oraka, the amazing lady who did this song, the Wonderland song, and both
Yeah.
of them wrote Fame together. You know, I mean, these are the type of things people do not
We
do
should-
much around here.
Yes.
Adekunle Gold definitely has his head in the right place.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see him do it big, man.
Absolutely. Talking about paying money for Airplay, there's something else that I want us to also pay attention to. In the music business, it's not just paying money to put your songs on radio or put your videos on TV. We also have pay for play. It's happening, in case you don't know, where artists and their managers or their management would approach an event planner or an event planning company and pay to get the artist on stage. I mean, it's ridiculous considering the fact that you expect, the planners to reach out to the artist and negotiate. But this time around, the artists are so desperate to get on a platform to see their
hustle.
that they hustle to
It's
come
the
on
hustle.
stage.
It's the hustle.
And I have seen cases where, people planning events use this payola means as a means of raising money for their own events.
Absolutely.
So that's why you get on a show that is happening maybe in a hotel or any of these popular venues, and then the show is built to start at 9 p.m. It starts at 9, and from 9 to 11:30, 2 solid hours we're listening to or seeing unknown, whack, strange,
Because they bought
upcoming
tables.
artists.
Sometimes they have to buy
Yes,
tables.
sometimes they have to buy tables. So they make them buy tables so they can perform. So we're seeing, a bunch of. That's why you go to some events and you are angry that why, who are all these people? Why can't they just give us the main acts
When
bill for the
shows
show?
should be
When-
well curated and planned beforehand.
Shows are not curated anymore. Shows are just put together, and to raise money, you better get some of these upcoming artists to buy tables. So we're seeing a case of pay for play. Why? We're not even in that space where our industry should be, where
Yes.
is where it should be.
Yes.
But now we're already taking steps to bring ourselves down
Yeah.
with all these practices.
Okay, but what this is only going to do for us or for the new artists is that it's going to make them even more creative in their marketing and their promotions. Like more of the new people, even from the get-go, they are not even thinking radio anymore because they don't want to have to deal with all these people and part with all of that stuff.
Yes.
So right now, they are coming up with more brilliant ways of reaching out to their fans, either through small events that they put together or even running ads on social media. It is just pushing everyone.
They're seeing
to
a way
point.
around the system.
So for the people who really want to build their future around Payola,
Bad news.
bad news. It's only a matter of time before nobody even needs what you
have
say
to
you
offer.
can do anymore. Yeah.
Honestly, we need to have the conversation about this. Before we went on break, we were talking about putting a structure in place where, media houses who already have a music department or a music scheduling and vetting structure would tighten the system in such a way that, there would not be an opportunity for exploitation anymore. And those who don't have a structure should find a way of creating one. You are in the business. You already have experience when it comes to music vetting and scheduling and generally being a gatekeeper for music in, the media organization. What do you think? How do you think it can work? A foolproof method.
Is anything ever foolproof?
I don't know.
I'd ask. But like I said, it's not something 1, 2, 3 people can do.
Okay.
If everybody involved or everybody participating in anything to do with music, right? If we all come together and recognize that it is a problem, if we don't do that, it will be very, very, very difficult, because you could put structures in place and it's still not going to work. I did ask a question. If someone tells you to pay to get your work heard, do you raise a red flag?
People don't want to raise. You have to understand that people also don't want to raise a red flag because nobody wants to be blacklisted.
So how do
Nobody
you handle it when
people are afraid of being blacklisted?
It's in the air. It's in the air.
Now, how do you protect people who raise the red flag against being blacklisted? Because you know how this thing works. When someone raises a red flag and then there's a whole conversation about it, and maybe peradventure the OAP in question or the media personality in question gets sanctioned. He has friends.
It's a whole community.
It's a community. It's a network. He has this network of colleagues who are also in support of of Payola, who actually run Payola.
Yes.
It's a network, and so the conversation gets out, and then you become a pariah.
They don't want to talk to
nobody
you.
wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to touch you.
It could work 2 ways. Nobody wants to touch you, or everybody is going to sit up.
Okay.
Look, we've had enough of this. It's one of the two. So, are we ready to do something about it, or are we ready to just leave it how it is? We can talk, and go on and on and on about it, but unless we agree, one voice.
Okay, but I want to ask, how what about the big established guys? Do they also need to go through this process? Like, for example, if D'banj has a new single and he sends it here, would you listen to it and say, you know what, I know all the other stations in Nigeria are going to play this, but I do not like this record. I don't think it's good enough to air here. It's not going to get any.
Well, you see, it's not about I do not like. Then I'm not being professional. It's produced properly. It's done by an A-lister.
So
it's
it
getting
doesn't
airplay in the
matter if you
clubs
like
and
it or
parties.
not.
It doesn't matter whether I like it or not. It will get played.
It shouldn't matter if you like it or not.
It should not matter. The only reason why, really, for structure purposes, the only reason why a song won't get played, 1, it's not recorded properly.
Okay.
2, too many swear words, too many vulgar insinuation going on there. So by the time we edit, it doesn't make for good listening anymore. That will not make it. So basic things like that has nothing to do with whether I like or not. It's professional. This work was not done properly. It cannot go on air. It won't sound nice if you play it.
Exactly.
If production
so
is
you're
poor.
still going to end up, ruining your own work. And you don't want to do that.
So it has nothing to do with whether I like or I don't like this work. No.
The question now is, people say that for those who are established, for the artists who are maybe the A-list or B-list, they don't necessarily need to pay anything. It is the ones who are nameless who always have to pay something.
That might be the case, yes. But we still have the big names still giving. It's a bit tricky. It's like a relationship, a friendship. Someone has been really, supportive of your work and all that. Why can't I say thank you? Here's a bottle of wine or champagne or something. Thank you. I mean, I'm not going to be saying thank you every 3 months or every week. But
Obviously not.
I think we can comfortably tell when something is thank you, appreciation,
and when something
is like, oh boy,
you gotta help
get
me.
this done.
Okay, but over time, after receiving like 2 thank yous, does it not box you to a corner where you just feel like, you know what? We are friends now. I need to help you. I want to see you do good. You have a new single. We are going to play it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand what
Yeah,
you're saying.
because that person has invested in
so many thank yous.
Yeah, in so many thank yous, you know. So,
But thank you is now sounding like it's a job. Thank you is one of how many times do you say
yeah,
thank
how
you,
many
thank you,
times
thank
you
you,
have
thank
to
you,
say thank you?
Then it's not sounding like thank you anymore. It's
yeah,
like
it's
sucking
now
up or
something else. It's
something
becoming
else.
payments.
Exactly.
It's becoming payments when thank you has overstretched. When they say when a handshake has overstretched to the elbow, then you know we're
not a
beginning to
handshake
look at something
anymore.
else.
but okay, we've also seen cases where OAPs enjoy the friendship.
Yeah,
they
they
get from
have.
these people. Okay, I'm going to do my wedding. It would be nice if you come to sing. You know, it would be nice if you and your guys just come
If
around.
you're close
I'm
enough
going
to
to be
that
doing my
person.
birthday party. I want you to come around. You know, so sometimes OAPs actually want to be friends with these guys, and so if that's
they also want to be friends with OAPs. I think it's a
It's
two-way thing.
It's a two-way thing. Some of them
Yes.
want to be friends because of the advantages. Or if we're friends, then my material will get airplay, and you know things will be easy and all that. But you know, talking about this friendship, let me also introduce a new angle, which you know I've tried to talk to a few people, media people, and you know about Payola. And you know, one of the things I hear is how artists become arrogant once they've blown. How when they start to make money and become celebrities, they don't you know answer your calls anymore. They don't, you know, they give you attitude when
I
you're
hear a
in
lot
town.
of that.
And so now that they are broke, we can take advantage of them now, you know. But I don't understand that logic. And then I also hear what the fallout of this is. Indeed, when these artists actually become celebrities and they become, you know, they've blown, you know, and then in quotes, and then this, you know, OAPs probably put up events or parties or stuff, and you need them to come. They start to bill these presenters huge money for appearance, and then it becomes, then that's why you see a case of a celebrity having a falling out.
Friendship lost.
Yeah, friendship lost. And because originally it wasn't friendship, it was transactional. They had a
Yes,
transactional
yes.
relationship. You know, and then you will be thinking this artist is your friend, but if it was your friend, you wouldn't be charging. You know, you wouldn't be collecting money from them to play their songs.
Very
And
true.
so when you need them, because you need their celebrity presence at your event, they don't
like-
show. They bill you too.
Yeah, like, man, we do
Because it's business.
So
Because
now
the-
we're going
yeah,
to-
it's business now.
There are OAPs that will say to you, look, I'm going to take this. You know why? Tomorrow you're going to be a big guy and I'm not going to matter to you anymore. So this is the only time that you are really ever going to need me. So yeah.
So let me
this
take
is what I
advantage
want,
of you.
You know.
Wow.
Yes. It's sad. Wow.
It sounds very, very wicked.
Yes, it's very
Yes.
sad. I can't remember. There was an award I was watching once. I can't remember what award it was, but somebody, a recipient of an award of sorts, it says shout out to. He mentioned quite a number of radio stations, not in Nigeria though.
Okay.
And I felt so happy.
Yeah.
You know, because usually when you get, I like to thank my producer, I like to thank, I
Yeah,
like to
so
thank
you
God,
heard a radio
and all the
station being
plenty of-
acknowledged, and you felt like this could have been us.
So
But you
I
see,
was
they
so-
will not acknowledge you because they pay you.
Exactly.
They pay you. So why would they acknowledge you? They don't see it as you
It's
doing
sad.
them a favor or you helping them. There are radio stations that have literally made some people's careers.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
unfortunately,
For sure.
it's hard, you know, for a lot of radio stations around here because, you know, it's always been transactional.
Okay, but do you think over time a lot of people on air have lost the passion for the job? Because in some way I feel like the OAP is also an A&R. It is your job for you to discover new talents and introduce them to your
yes.
listeners. And shout out to people like Fola and Douglas and Ike and plenty other people who still go out of their way and say, you don't have money, you don't have anything, but your music is amazing and you deserve
on.
exactly come on. You know, so do you think over time it has now become so much of a money game and people do not have heart for what they do, so it is easy for them to, you know, make it a business?
To make it a business.
You could say that. You could say that, but like nothing is ever 100%. There's room
It's
for
not black and white. There are
Yes,
gray areas.
Yeah.
I agree with you, to a very large extent because I was talking with you off the microphone, Obinna, and I remember saying that a lot of us came into the business. I think presenters of my generation came into the business because the music brought us. Music brought me to radio. I can testify to that. Music brought me to radio. And I think my first experience on radio was just the fact that I was just excited at the ability and the opportunity to play music. That was all I was hired to do. And, it was such a beautiful experience. And I always wanted to do it. And then I remember the days when it used to be a hustle for us presenters. Who's going to play the first jam? Who will be the first person to play this new jam? And I'll go out of my way to even talk to artists. Do you have any news on? Please send it to me first. Email it to me. I don't care. I just want to be the first person to play it. It was a thing. We went out of our way to look for songs that people don't have. You want to play different songs on your show, not what everyone else is playing. You want, that's your show to have an identity. Fresh and all that. So we used to hustle to do all that.
A lot of people do not care about the music.
But it doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. So we have a crop or a generation of radio presenters who just, like the idea that they're on radio, they're getting heard, they can post on social media, on Instagram, that they're getting heard, they can put OAP on their profiles, and it's some kind of, I don't know, it's a high.
They can put the station's name after the...
Yeah. I just slapped something on the back now.
But
it's
that
a
in
high.
itself too, it's sad because it's supposed to be symbiotic. That's the word.
Yes.
So OAP station, OAP. No one is.
We build off each other.
Exactly.
The platform makes me. I make the platform.
I think
as well.
about that all the time. Okay, so when you're no more with this station, what are you going to do?
Exactly. Give us a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly do an ad break. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, my name is Tolulope Adeleru Balogun. I currently host Morning Crossfire. I'm here to tell you that you have to get your PVC. Your permanent voter's card is your power, and in your hand you hold the power to make any necessary change that you want in Nigeria. Please participate, because elections are not the end of democracy and governance. The highest office in the land is the office of the citizen. You and I are citizens of Nigeria. Get your PVC. Your PVC, your voice.
Hi, I'm Tunji Andrews, and this is 1,000 Naira notes. To some people, this represents a meal or a few bottles of beer. To other people, this is 4 units of Dangote cement shares or 21 units of GT Bank stock, or the stats and capital needed to start that pure water business. Whoever you are and whatever your needs might be, we have you covered on the Money Business and Economy Show on 99.3 Nigeria Info, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Cause it's not really the amount of money that matters. It's usually what you do with it. Cheers.
Nigeria, everybody be criminal. I'm not the one who said that. Falls the bad guy said that in his brand new video, This is Nigeria, an adaptation of Childish Gambino's This is America. And the words he's been speaking and the words, all the action on the screen. You just need to go to YouTube to check out, that video. You would see, a lot of, some really, really key issues and the way he, the way he told the story, and definitely worth talking about. And that's why we're here talking about Payola, pay for play, pay for airplay in Nigerian music industry. It's not being funny, and honestly, it's not helping it's not helping independent artists, newbies, even new labels trying to make a headway. Because somebody said to me one time that Yahoo Boys have spoiled the music business with Payola, because sometimes you really want to look at it. There are people who have been forced into what they call Yahoo now, advanced fee fraud, because they want to make enough money to push their music.
Absolutely.
So many independent artists, so many upcoming artists, even some who are supposedly signed to some record labels, are actually low-key internet fraudsters who would push all that money into the music they're making. Apart from the fact that they're paying producers and paying for music videos, Payola takes the bulk of where the money is going. So it's definitely something we need to tackle.
Yes.
Social media alone, new media alone, is not enough to to say that, oh, this would make Payola finally be obsolete, because one day artists will realize they don't need radio. They still need radio. They still need
radio.
TV.
Is so important.
Yes.
That is why this Payola thing hurts, because a lot of people are no more considering radio in their plan anymore. And like we were saying off air, what radio does for you is, when I hear you on radio, it makes me feel like you're no more a small timer. It makes me feel like you're ready to take it to the next level. Basically, you're saying to me that I should take you seriously.
You've put in some work.
Yes. But right now, a lot of people are not even considering that, because it costs so much to get on air, and then you have to make a video, and then you have to repeat that whole process again, trying to push the video. So
this is not a conversation we can finish, today. This is a part one. I can promise you that the part two of this Payola discussion, we will have other radio presenters from, different channels and different, media organizations to, join in this conversation. And then we'll have an artist who has paid Payola, or who is paying Payola, so we can let's have a face-to-face, and let's talk. Let's have a conversation, so everybody can speak their minds, and then we can talk about the way forward. I have to say thank you to Madam A, for joining the conversation today. And she's been in the business for quite a while, and also Obinna Agwu, the mob, for always being consistent on Music Business Monday. I mean,
thanks for the opportunity.
It's just amazing that you always make it on time.
Thank you, Madam A, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today on Music Business Monday. Next week, Monday, we'll still be here. We'll still talking about, I want us to probably have a review of, Angry Mob is good at album reviews. So maybe on Monday, we'll probably just have a 15-minute segment where we review, the new album.
Okay, yeah.
Are they gonna go? That's what I'm talking about.
That'll be that.
Yeah,
that'll be nice.
Absolutely. All right, join us again next week. Lunchtime Magazine still continues with our weekend event review. Dikpo is around the corner. Dikpo traveled this weekend with Inriajo, and he climbed mountains. Yes.
Oh,
so
exciting.
I've been wanting to get on that stuff for a while.
Oh,
now. Wow,
exciting.
nice.
When we come back from Dikpo will tell us all about his mountain climbing experience and, all the new chicks he met on the trip. So stay here. This is still 99.3 Nigeria Info Lunchtime Magazine. My name is Fola.
Oh, oh.